right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ian McNaughton. This is Ian Reviews Rugby Sevens. I'm going to be talking about day 5 of the Rugby Sevens tournament in Tokyo 2020. In the women's tournament, we had quarterfinal matchups as well as women's placing matchups for 9th place, 10th place, 11th place, 12th place. You get the drill. So I'll talk about day 5 a little bit as well. I also want to preview day 6, the final day for Rugby Sevens at Tokyo 2020. It's going to be a fun day, an exciting final day of rugby at Tokyo, and I can't wait to watch it later this evening. So let's talk about this, the quarterfinals in the day 5 game. So Canada did not make the quarterfinals on the women's side. They had to play Brazil in a placing match for 9th place. Canada beat Brazil 45-0. Wasn't really close. It's their second shutout against Brazil this tournament. So the Canadian women, disappointing not to be playing for a medal, considering that they won bronze in 2016. However, they can redeem themselves a little bit, I think, if they beat Kenya, which is their opponent in the 9th place game later on today. Kenya, they defeat Japan 21-17. Kind of like the men's team, the Kenyan women's team has been one of the not as hyped about kind of sleeper stories in this tournament. I thought the Kenyan women have been, fantastic for the most part. Obviously, they've had some really tough competition. They lost 31-0 to Great Britain earlier in the day. But I thought the Kenyan women team have been sensational, giving their all. And, it just makes for this 9th place match later today between Canada and Kenya a fascinating matchup to see who comes out on top, who can survive it all. I have to go with Canada because I live in Vancouver. But the key to this match will be to see if Kenya can get their speed going out on the wings. That's where they've had a lot of their success through these last couple of days, is getting the speed outside, getting the ball outside, and outrunning your opponents. That's what the Kenyan women team have been doing really well. And we'll see if it happens against Canada. But again, 9th place match against Canada, it's going to be phenomenal to watch. Highly recommend it if you get the opportunity to. Also, in the placing matches, this is for 11th place. Brazil will play Japan. Neither team has really had a great tournament. It's especially disappointing for Japan considering they are the host nation. The men's team did not have a good performance as well, so it's kind of compounded on to everything that's gone on at this tournament for Japan. I'm not too concerned about Japan. They're still a growing sevens nation. At the stoppage last year at the Sevens series, I didn't think the Japan women's team was a top 10 team in the world. So I'm not totally surprised at these results. However, they are getting better. They are improving. I think there's a lot you can take away from this tournament and that you can use further on down the line. Hopefully Japan can get one last victory against Brazil. Brazil, I think they're more just happy to be here. A name to know from Brazil is Bianca Silva. She's had multiple tries for Brazil this tournament. She's been one to watch for sure. I've been impressed with her performance, sidestepping people, using her speed to her advantage. Excellent work by Bianca Silva. We'll see how Japan and Brazil go in their last game. I'm kind of rooting for Japan as the host nation to do well, but we'll see how that goes. Quarterfinal matchups yesterday, New Zealand defeated the Russian Olympic Committee 36-0. It was a blowout from the beginning. The last pool stage match for both teams saw New Zealand beat the Russian Olympic Committee 33-0, so an extra 3 points this time in the quarterfinals for New Zealand. Not surprising. The Russian team are a fine team, but they're not even close to the Black Ferns in terms of competitiveness, skill, quality. That's a really tough day for Russia when you got only 2 matches in the day, and they're both against New Zealand. So kudos to Russia for at least putting an effort for it, but I'm not surprised at the results. So the Black Ferns, the New Zealand women's team, they make it to the semifinals where they will be playing Fiji, who upset the defending gold medal champions Australia 14-12 in their second quarterfinal game. So Fiji had 2 quick tries. They were looking really steady early on. Australia, though, would come back with 2 tries of their own, missed 1 conversion, and it just wasn't enough. 14-12 was the final score for Fiji, who upset Australia. Kudos to Fiji. The men's team obviously won gold earlier in the week. They were the highlight of the Rugby Sevens tournament so far, and now the Fijian women team have an upset in their books. They have their own upset. They're making their own story. They're creating their own history, which you love to see. Kudos to the Fijian team. They're going to be playing the Blackburns later today. That's going to be a really close match. That's going to be a really fun match. I can't wait to watch that. Again, check it out. If you aren't planning on it, you really should. It's going to be fantastic. The third quarterfinal match, Great Britain outlast the U.S. They had the early lead, and they were running all over the Americans. It was not close. A bit disappointing for the U.S. The Americans, I think they thought they could be a medal team. They failed to do so on the men's side. I think there was even greater hope on the women's side to get a medal, and it just didn't happen for the Americans. Jasmine Jost, she got 2 tries for Team Great Britain. I believe, yes, Abby Brown, co-captain, she got the 3rd try in the match for Great Britain. A well-deserving victory. Kudos to Great Britain for outlasting the Americans again. Great Britain, they're going to be moving on to a semifinal. Hopefully they, don't give up. They don't give in. They are phenomenal. But they do have a challenging opponent awaiting them, and that is France. France won the final quarterfinal match against China 24-10. All of these games, the last 3 games, I should say, were delayed due to thunder in the area, due to weather concerns. So this was pushed back an extra half an hour. They still got the game played. France beat China 24-10. As much as it is the story of France, who have been sensational, who got into the tournament based on the qualifying tournament that took place in Monaco in May, they still found a way to get in, and they are on a roll. They're going to be playing Great Britain in the semifinals, so great job to France. Well done to them for their efforts. But also a shout out to China. China, they have been one of the great stories in the women's tournament. They haven't necessarily had the results, wins, losses that they would want. However, they've been competitive against the Americans. They've been competitive against Australia. They were fairly competitive against France for the most part. They just ran out of gas, yet still a remarkable performance for Japan. I don't think many people were expecting it. I wasn't expecting it personally, yet they got to the quarterfinals. Good job for Japan. Well done. Not a lot else I can say about that. They just did their job. They worked hard, and they got the result they wanted. So can't ask for much more than that. So let's preview the final day, day 6 of Rugby Sevens at Tokyo 2020. So games include Brazil versus Japan for the 11th place spot, Canada versus Kenya for 9th place, Russia versus Australia. That's going to be a matchup that will potentially get someone to 5th place. Same with US and China. So that basically, if you're wondering for placing spots, so basically there are Russia, Australia, US, and China, they're all playing for 5th place, but if they lose, then they're going to be playing for 7th place later on today. And then your semifinal matchups, you have New Zealand versus Fiji, and you have Great Britain versus France. You have a Pacific rivalry and a European rivalry. It's great to see. It's going to be fantastic to watch. I highly suggest you tune in. I don't know who to. I'm going to say New Zealand wins. I mean, the story of Fiji is remarkable and exciting. I just don't know that they have enough to get over New Zealand. New Zealand is really talented. Michaela Blyde is obviously somebody you have to know. Same with Portia Woodman. 2 of the best women in sevens right now are on New Zealand, and it's really tough to match up against them. And the other semifinal, that's really close. I'm going to say Great Britain, but there is part of me that wants to see France, who are kind of on this upset Cinderella run a little bit. I kind of like to see France move on, go into the finals, but we'll see. I'm leaning towards Great Britain. However, nevertheless, there's going to be some terrific rugby later on today. Go check it out if you got the opportunity. It's going to be fun. And then later tonight, by the end of the day, we will know a women's gold medalist in Rugby Sevens and a women's bronze medalist in Rugby Sevens. I can't wait. Literally got goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm excited. I am pumped, and you should be too. Thank you very much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. If you like this video, be sure to like this video. If you like this video and you like some of the other videos on this channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel below for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. We'll be back again soon. Peace out.